video is about drug prevention. Using any illegal substance or medication other than when advised by a doctor can have everlasting consequences, and I'm here to discuss my experience with these consequences on this YouTube channel. Stay safe and enjoy the video. This is YouTube's fault. Help me. Join my Patreon today to be a part of this community that YouTube is trying to shut out. Thank you for all the support. I love you guys. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to my W-2 job today. Say I stay home. Hypothetically, of course, as this channel is meant for drug prevention. These drugs have everlasting consequences, and I would highly recommend that you really consider not doing any of them. But if you were to not go to work, call off, which drugs are worth losing the bread over? Because you're losing money doing that. Which drugs are worth doing instead of going to work? Sometimes the high is better than the bread. Let's get the fuck right into it. I might call off work. Nah, I start in an hour. I can't. All right, I can't. I wish I did. And if I were to do that and get high, which drug would be absolutely worth getting high on instead of going to work? Starting off this tier list with fake carts. Delta 8, Delta 9, THC, P, X, Y, and Z. You buy these at your vape shops. This is, just go to work, bro. You're buying fake carts. Just go to work, bro. Until you can buy real carts, then maybe you can start giving up a shift or two. But until that point, just go to work. You're not even 21 yet, bro. Like, you probably get to keep all your extra money too. Like, just go to work. You're fine. Moving on to ADHD medication. This is a picture of Adderall. I'm talking about, sorry, I'm fucking tweaking off fucking everything right now. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Next up, I'm talking about ADHD medication. This is a picture of Adderall. I'm talking about Ritalin, Concerta. That's what I was prescribed. Maybe you can wait to do this before or after. Honestly, it's worth doing before. You'll lock in at work. Maybe you can just do this before or after. Honestly. Like, it's kind of worth even just still going to work, making the bread, and you get to get high. This middle tier is honestly a great rank right here. Maybe you can... Sorry, I have to... Maybe you can do this before or after? Question mark? That's the first spot we're going to rank a drug in for ADHD medication. That's the first time something will get ranked here. Moving on to Kratom. Just go to work, bro. You went to a vape shop to buy it as well. And you could have bought a vape. You could have bought a fake cart. You could have walked out and hit up the plug and got... I'm just joking, YouTube. You could have done a lot of things, but you chose to pick up Kratom. Oh, but the red strain feels just like... Oh my god, there's no fucking saving you people! Are you slow? Do you even think? Do you even think? Start doing it, because holy shit, clearly you don't. Moving on to cocaine. This is better than making money. All right? I hate to say it. Actually, I love to say it. I absolutely love to say it. Ah, man. Imagine I didn't go to work today and I had a bag. And I could just chill, stream, play zombies, drink beer, and snort lines. That would be awful and my life would be ruined. YouTube employees. But anybody else watching, it's pretty cool. Moving on to crack. Cocaine gets ranked in the S tier, better than making money. Moving on to crack. Just go to work, bro. If you're cracked out, you probably can't go to work though. So maybe just go to work instead of do it. That way you don't become homeless. Moving on to fake shrooms. Amanita mascara. I'm thinking of adding more substances Okay, I am listening to you guys. It is not fair to rank all research chemicals in one place, but what do you want me to do? You know, like, should I rank them research chemical benzo, research chemical stimulant, research chemical psych? You know, like, should I just split them up by what compound they're imitating? You know, let me know down in the comments. We'll add that for next video. Excuse me. But I'm talking about Amanita. This is sold at vape shops and smoke shops and bullshit like that. It's advertised to you as magic mushrooms, but it is not magic mushrooms. That is what we're talking about. A lot of it contains Amanita, at least in my area. I'm in the zona over here. And when I eat this chocolate bar, I'm not eating psilocybin. I'm eating Amanita. All right. Honestly, this is rarely worth missing bread over. Not even really worth it, low key, is where it's going to get ranked today. Bot almost blast tier. Yeah, fake shrooms, Amanita, rarely worth missing. Unless you just absolutely love this shit and it really just brings you happiness, then all power to you. I can't judge you too hard. At least you're not doing kratom or something, or crack. But you should probably just go to work, bro. Moving on to dabs. Honestly, maybe you can do this before or after. I'm going to smoke before going to work. I mean, I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't condone drugs. And my job, if you're watching this... But in all seriousness, maybe you could do this before or after. It gets ranked here, in the middle tier, with ADHD medication. Moving on to DMT. Honestly, DMT might be worth missing work for, is where it's going to be ranked. A tier, right here, right below the big red better than making money. DMT is ranked here because you might unlock a part of yourself that you've been waiting to unlock since birth. Maybe you felt like there's been something missing. And then you break out the trip. I get it now. You're welcome. You pick up another shift, but now you're smarter, wiser, braver, and more conscious of yourself and your surroundings and the way this world works. But don't do drugs, guys. I completely would advise against it. They have real consequences. I'm only making this video to talk about my consequences. I'm not glamorizing this in any way, shape, or form. Moving on to opioids. This is a picture of a Perk 30. I hate opioids, as you guys may know. And as you may know, by the way I talk about them, I don't have that much experience with it. Both times I did them, it sucked. I did oxys once and I did hydros once. Recreationally, of course. They both sucked. It sucked, okay? Maybe I took too much. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, I tried hydros twice. Because I remember I even broke it up and tried it again the next day, and I fucking hated it again. But opioids, honestly, are rarely worth missing bread over. Not even really worth it, low key. I mean, do you want to look like Rue? Where's fentanyl at? Let's throw this here. Honestly, should we make our own tier just for like... We're going to add another tier, guys. Sorry about the interruption. You can't even make it to work if you wanted to. Is the final tier. Maybe because something fatal happened. Maybe because you're just too faded, you know? But there we go. Perfect. Wow, this tier has made it in the last couple of videos. I guess we have a lot of opinions around here, but new addition to this tier list in specific. F tier was just go to work, bro, but now F tier is just go to work, bro. Z tier is you can't even make it to work if you wanted now. We're going to go ahead and throw crack down there and throw fentanyl down there, beginning this tier as crack, you're cracked out. Good luck. You're going to get sent home. If you do show up to work, you manage to get there, but you're probably digging through your carpet to find the next little bit of crack that you missed or whatever. Fentanyl, you are probably on the floor, unconscious, and good luck getting to work that way. So Z tier, Purple tier, you can't even make it to work if you wanted to. Sorry. And in F tier, just go to work, bro. We have Kratom and fake cards. And in rarely worth missing bread over, not even really worth the low key, we have fake shrooms, opioids, and, you know, the rest so far. Moving on, I just had to clear that up, you know. Moving on to benzodiazepines. This is a picture of a Xanax popsicle. Alprazolam. Occasionally, this is worth losing bread over. Honestly, if you take one, it's honestly kind of worth to miss it. If you show up, you're gonna fuck up. I serve tables. The first time I took Xanax was at work, and I remember I still served for like an hour before I got sent home, but I took orders, took drink orders, greeted, walked back there, and like the next memory I have is coming to the table with the drinks and their food's already there. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? They're mad. They're upset. I'm like, oh, and they're not getting the right food. They're like, what is this? I'm like, I fucked everything up. Anything you thought could go wrong or that you could do wrong at a job, I did. So it was honestly worth losing some bread over for not showing up. But if you do a job like, like sleeping for work, you could do it before, but let's be real. Occasionally, it's worth missing work over. It's not worth losing your job. Moving on. Oh, wow. That means we gotta drink some fucking liquid. Benzos are ranked dead smack in the middle in yellow tier, occasionally worth losing bread over. We're now moving on to dextromethorphan, DXM. This should be the only active ingredient if you're using this bullshit to get high off of, you know, and Delsum and Robitussin. I'm going to throw it here. This is rarely worth missing bread over. There is a cult behind you guys. You little DXM lovers. There's some of you that are nice. You defend it and explain why you like it. And you still say, good job. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. I'll always reply to you. You're cool as fuck. But some of you, if you were hanging off a cliff like this with your arms and you could see your mom hanging like this, or DXM hanging from a branch and the branch is breaking and your mom's branch is breaking that she's hanging from, you would grab the DXM like this over your mom and you just watch your mom drop. All right? That's not worth it. That's not the point of this ranking, but DXM gets ranked here in green. It's rarely worth missing bread over. It's not even really worth it low key. I guess if you take it and you have to, rarely worth it. Just fucking toughen up and go. You decided to take this bullshit, so now you have to deal with bullshit. Benzos, I like you, so you get, you know, escorted out of that conversation. But DXM, fuck you. Moving on to lean codeine promethazine. Rarely worth missing bread over as well. Same idea as DXM. I know they're not the same, but to me, it's the same idea as it feels dirty. It's like a dirty drug. I think that's why I don't like DXM. Like, you're drinking a cough medicine, or even if it's pills, I know I'm taking an over-counter of the cough medicine that I used to take as a kid in such a large excess amount just to feel high. Like, that's kind of dirty, isn't it? At least something like an opioid or a benzo, it was medically prescribed, and the effects that you feel, that is literally what they were meant to make you feel. So at least you're not tripping, you know? You're not taking some crazy dose to feel that. Until obviously you're an addict and now you're taking 5 pills to feel the same effect that you used to 2 years ago, but that's another story. Lean, you get ranked here in green with all this bullshit. Moving on to cigarettos. Cigarillos. 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 Ah. Cigarettes. Sorry, guys. I mean, you can literally do this before, during, or after work. If you miss or call off of work to smoke a cigarette, just look at the way I'm looking at you. Do you feel that? Moving on to Molly or MDMA. Cigarette gets ranked in orange tier. Maybe you can do this before or after. Moving on to Molly or MDMA. You can't make it to work even if you wanted now. Good luck. Good luck. All I'm saying is Someone's going to notice. Someone's going to tell that something's off about you. There's no way you're this positive. There's no way you're this touchy. There's no way you're this happy. And why do you have a boner right now? All right. I don't recommend this. I'll put it here and just go to work, bro. Because yes, you can obviously make it to work, but you might get sent home. Okay. Just go to work, bro. Don't take it. Do it right after. Okay. We're changing orange tier to maybe you can do this before or during. That is my B tier. And my D tier, green tier, now rarely worth missing bread over. Not even really worth it. And blue tier, just go to work, bro. Or do it after. Just insinuate that. Oh, no, so we won't have to type that out. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Molly lands here. Almost bottom of the pack. And F tier, just go to work, bro. Blue. Moving on to shrooms. Also, if your Molly or MDMA looks like this, it's fake. This is called ecstasy. Molly or MDMA is a crystal compound. Don't do drugs, but make sure you're not doing fake ones, okay? So, yeah. What was I on? Where is it at? Shrooms. Moving on to real shrooms. Honestly, just like DMT, this is worth missing work for. What if you've had just a hard time? What if you're trying to quit nicotine? I need some shrooms soon. Well, I don't, because I don't want to do illegal substances and I don't condone illegal substances, and I would really, really strongly advise against doing illegal substances, guys. But shrooms sometimes would be worth missing work for. Just like DMT, you could find your third eye and figure a lot about out yourself and just maybe solve some demons inside of you, you know? Moving on to, and if you took it, obviously you're going to have to not go anyways. But if you skip work and show up to work the next day, you're going to probably be even more positive and ready to work. And yeah, so it's a win-win. Moving on to real carts. Shrooms gets ranked here in orange tier, A tier, worth missing work for. Real carts will be placed. And maybe you can just do this before or during. I mean, I'm bringing the cart to work and I'm smacking it in the bathroom. Which, don't do drugs at all. Just like Zaza, you shouldn't be doing Zaza. But honestly, if you're going to consider calling off work for it, you can just do it before or during. If you really want to smoke that bad, just, yeah. Moving on to heroin. Bottom of the pack, purple tier. You can't even make it to work if you want to now. Also, carts and bud Zaza end up in half orange, half yellow tier. Maybe you can do this before or during. And heroin goes in the purple tier. You can't even make it to work if you want it now. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my fucking train of thought, hella. I work an hour! Heroin, purple tier. You can't even make it to work if you want it now. Moving on to peyote. Just go to work, bro. What are we talking about? Sorry. I mean, I'm not too cultured with peyote, but is it really worth missing work for? Just do it on your next day off. Moving on to crystal methamphetamine. You can't make it to work if you want it. I'm going to put it here. Just go to work, bro. You can make it to work, but if you go, you're losing your job, my boy. Everybody's going to know something's wrong, and they're probably going to know that it's meth. Okay, especially if you do it often, you're going to have that meth teeth, and you're going to be tweaking. You're going to get fixated on one thing. You're fucked. Moving on to nicotine, specifically vapes. Just go to the bathroom. Don't smoke vapes unless you're over the age of 18, but even then, it has real dire consequences, so don't do it. But if you're going to consider calling off work for it, stupid. Moving on to 7-0. Vapes will get ranked here. Maybe you can do this before or during. 7-0 will get ranked down at the bottom. You can't even make it to work if you want it now. I'm not even going to give it the time of day today. Fuck you if you even think about 7-0. If you do 7-0, get off of my channel. Moving on to caffeine. Well, I mean, keep watching, but don't say bullshit. Otherwise, you're going to piss me off. Moving on to caffeine. I mean, maybe you could do this before or during. You know, like, it's not better than making money. It's not worth missing work for. Getting a coffee, called off to go on a coffee date. I mean, maybe if you haven't seen your girl in weeks, but shit, maybe you can just go on a date in your day off, or just do it in the morning before. Or just drink a cup of coffee before. I don't know what to tell you, man. Moving on to research chemicals. We're going to throw it dead smack in the middle in yellow tier. occasionally worth losing bread over. I know this is kind of a broad thing here because there's psychedelic research chemicals, benzo research chemicals, stimulant research chemicals, all of the sorts. They're analog substances made by man, therefore rats, not for human consumption. They're sold legally on the clear net, which is fucked. Do not do research chemicals. You don't even know really what you're doing. All right? There's not much research on them, which is funny. But occasionally it's worth losing bread over. Moving on to acid or LSD. Shout out bromozolam! Acid or LSD. Which I completely want to prevent drug usage of bromozolam and any research chemicals, as they've had real horrible consequences for me. That's why I acted that way. But acid or LSD is absolutely worth missing work for. This is coming from somebody who has done acid and decided to still go to work. I was a manager at KFC. One of the worst days of my life. Well, of work anyways. It was one of the best days of my life and one of the fondest memories I have. Which I'm not trying to glamorize that, but I learned a lot, and I would just highly recommend caution if you're going to use these substances, as they are illegal, and stay safe and stay away from illegal substances. Okay, moving on. Acid gets ranked in orange, worth missing work for. Moving on to ketamine. Ketamine will be placed in dead smack in the middle, occasionally worth losing bread over. You cannot do this during or before. You're going to have to do this after, and if you do it before, you're probably going to have to miss your shift, as you're going to need a few hours at least. Even if you do a small amount, you're going to need a few hours, bro. I did ketamine therapy. That shit was, even though it was a microdose, so they said, I was leaning for at least an hour or two. And when I did it on my own recreationally, I fucking split my soul in half. No way I could go to work like that. Moving on to, dude, I was in the shower K-holing. God, nightmare. Straight nightmare. Moving on to alcohol. Got a good old picture of Budweiser here. Which, again, do not drink alcohol unless you're over the age of 21. And even then, it has lasting consequences. So, drink at your own cost, at your own risk. I do not advise you to do so. But if you were to miss work for doing so, alcohol would be worth missing work for. Sorry. Do I want to drink right now? Yes. And that's why alcohol is a problem. It's so addictive. I highly recommend not starting to drink alcohol. But it will be ranked in orange tier today for worth missing work for. Moving on to edibles. I'm calling my job. Edibles! Last but certainly not least. Occasionally worth losing bread over, I would say. But I think you should just do it after, like benzos. If you can't handle edibles, I think you could do it before or during personally, but I know edibles hit a lot of people differently. They make them sick or they're hard hitting, and they could not go to work like that. I mean, I know my girlfriend takes edibles and she gets so fucking spinny and dizzy and nauseous, so she couldn't go to work like that. She'd have to get sent home. Edibles, ending this tier list off, dead smack in the middle in yellow tier. It's occasionally worth losing your bread over. If you really want to chill out and eat an edible pizza, sounds like a chill day. Maybe you'll just really gain time and just like a break. Maybe you'll just get a much needed break before you go back to work. That's it! We did it! Do you agree with my tier list and why? In better than making money, we have cocaine. And worth missing work for, we have alcohol, DMT, shrooms, and acid. And maybe you can do this before, during, or after. Well, before or during. Caffeine, vapes, cigarettes, ADHD medication, dabs, carts, real carts, and bud. In dead smack middle yellow, occasionally worth losing your bread over, benzodiazepines, edibles, research chemicals, and ketamine. And in green tier, it's really worth losing your bread over. It's not even really worth it, low key. Yeah, fake shrooms, opioids, DXM, and lean. And almost last, just go to work, bro. At that point, don't even do it. Crystal methamphetamine, Molly, kratom, fake carts, or peyote. And in buttfuck last, purple tier, you can't even make it to work if you wanted now. 7-0, heroin, crack, and fentanyl. That is my list. Let me know if you agree down below. If you're on Patreon, let me know if you agree and give me any requests for tier lists. I'm only accepting your requests now. like I said, these videos are free on Patreon, so just go chat me up in Patreon, help me get it up and running and everything. If you want to see exclusive content, you can subscribe for $5 foot long. YouTube doesn't pay me $1, so it helps me out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the support. And like I said, let me know if you agree with the tier list and why down below. And I hope to catch you in the next tier list video. Which drug would you call off work for? Which high is worth calling off for you? I'm also interested to hear that down below. I love you guys. Have a good day and night whenever you caught it. And I hope to catch you in the next video. Peace. You fucking bitch! Do my fucking Patreon, bitch! Vampire, but a hoe on the leg. She tell me I'm cute, then she kissed her tats on my neck. My bitch a princess, I'm a princess too. My bitch kawaii, I'm kawaii too.